Hi, class. Today's discussion board, we're talking about uh, physiological aspects of the human body, and in particular, how our body interacts with the airplanes that are today, uh, the future, as well as in the case of military aircraft. So, when we have these airplanes that are more and more capable, we we have to worry about our physiological capabilities of them when flying them. When we get into a flight that we don't expect to have any abnormal situations in flight, such as I believe it was a Cirrus in the textbook that was at 15,000 feet, experienced a gravitational loss of consciousness event and descended like 13,000 feet in a matter of less than a minute. That can be scary for the pilot and the two passengers that were on board. And, that wasn't intended to be an aerobatic flight. So the situations that we put ourselves in can determine our body's physiological response to it. One of the things that was kind of interesting to me was the negative G's of the flight environment, talking about red out, and they don't really have a determination as to what causes that specifically. And I was always told that it was exactly what the book said, was your eyelids coming up over your eyes and you were perceiving the light through the eyelid as red. Um, However, I've experimented that myself and like pulled my eyelids closed and looked up at the sun, and it's not the same type of situation. It doesn't appear to be a red out. So I think the latter situation in the textbook is more likely to be what's at play, is something to do with the optic nerve and the blood pressure within the eye itself, and the amount of oxygen getting through the optic nerve to the brain and whatnot. So the thing says, or the instructions tell us that have aircraft superseded our body's ability to handle flight today? And I would say yes. I would say that an aircraft could put you in a situation more likely that you would be incapacitated from, which is that situation would be more likely than you surviving a situation that your airplane did not survive from. Obviously, there's extenuating circumstances such as, prolonged metal fatigue, prolonged exposure to high G forces over and over and over again, and then finally something in your airplane breaks at a lower tolerance than normally specified. Now, that kind of situation, sure, you may survive that before your airplane, but normally certified, good condition airplane, I think that the airplane would survive, and we would in turn encounter a situation where we would become incapacitated, and then you would be the one descending 13,000 feet in a matter of seconds, and that would be, or rather could be, catastrophic. In the future, I think that they're already on the right path for humans avoiding these incidents, not so much from the aspect of avoiding the loss of consciousness or the near loss of consciousness associated with positive G's. I think that the pressure suits are good, the positive pressure ventilations are good, the seat tilt in the fighter jets are good. Um, but I think the saving grace is the F-16 pilot that had the computer system recover for him. Automation saved this pilot's life, not the G suit, not the positive pressure ventilation, not continuous exposure to the G environment. It was the computer system in the F-16 that saved this pilot. And I think that that's more in the realm of where the future lies in aircraft. And I think that that's going to be really beneficial, or even so much as to say air to air combat without a human pilot altogether, having a fighter jet that is either controlled on the ground that isn't subject to human limitations. You have that link similar to like a predator, but it's more built for air-to-air dogfights. And then it becomes machine stress that is your rate limiting factor, not the human, and that's significantly greater, and it will bound the capabilities of the fight. And I think that's also a possibility that has interesting prospects. So I look forward to hearing the feedback from you all this week, and I can't wait to see what you guys all have prepared. God bless.